Hi guys, for those of you who don't know, my name is Alana. I'm a Kripalu certified yoga instructor. This is my second video here on the tube. And I'm trying out a new space here. So I'm in my parents' living room. I don't know if that really matters to you guys, but I hope the background's not too distracting. We still have our Christmas tree up. But yeah, so I wanted to create a bit of a shorter practice today. It's going to be pretty high energy, really focused on like joyousness. I know that it's the winter, it's pretty cold, it's snowing where I am, and that coupled with all the stress of the pandemic and whatnot, I know is probably going to leave a lot of people feeling depressed and anxious. I know I certainly have been feeling those kind of emotions recently. So yeah, I'm hoping that this helps. So wherever you are, you're probably at home. I'd really encourage you to set up your space in a way that feels meaningful to you. So maybe grabbing like a so-called sacred object. It doesn't have to be anything fancy or expensive. It can be like a candle or maybe even a piece of fruit, maybe like a leaf you found outside that you thought was pretty. I have my stuffed raccoon, lazy boy. And yeah, as always, if anything doesn't feel good, that includes asana, pranayama, breathing exercises, and any kind of chanting I ask you to do. Sometimes I like to get a little funky in my practice. So yeah, if anything's not resonating with you, you're welcome to sit it out, to modify, or to turn the video off completely and throw your phone out the window. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, on the practical side of things, you're not going to need props today, but if you do have blocks, you might want to grab them. You might want to grab a pillow or a rolled up blanket. But that's it. Yeah, like I said, you don't need them. But for some people, they may help. So without further ado, let's get into our practice. All right, guys, let's get started. So right away, we're in mountain pose. You're gonna make any little micro movements that might feel good here, really grounding in through the entirety of each foot, making sure that the weight is balanced or evenly distributed between each foot. Knees are gonna be nice and soft here, though the legs are straight. Make sure that the pelvis and tailbone are drawing together. Immediately starting to ground into the space. This is a quick practice, so we're using the breath of the body to get ourselves centered, right? Don't overthink it. And then we're gonna start our Dirga pranayam, sorry. So bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the chest, and gently closing the lips, start to draw in breath through the nose. Let it be like water, kind of filling up the balloon of the belly, and then letting the rib cage flare open and expand, and then the chest, the collarbone area starts to rise. And then on the exhale, let the chest, the rib cage, and the belly contract. You might even want to contract the abdomen here to get rid of any lingering stagnant breath. Continuing to take those nice, deep, cleansing breaths in. Nice, full, complete breaths out through the nose, right? You may even start to lengthen the exhale, right? So when we inhale, we activate our body's fight or flight response, sorry. And when we exhale, we activate the rest and digest response. So lengthen that exhale. That's what I was trying to say. Keep going. Nice big deep breaths. Let it be easy. Let it flow. I don't know what I'm doing here. Shaking it out a little bit. And then start to rub the hands together. Can start slow here, then get faster and faster, activating a little bit of fire, a little bit of prana. Rub, rub, rub. And then bring the hands to heart center. Draw the hands away from each other so you can feel that electromagnetic energy that you just created. reminding yourself that that energy is always available to you. And then stacking the hands over the heart like you're charging up the heart here. Feel that heat, again, that energy, that prana, the life force, breathing into it. And now I want you to picture something in your head that you feel grateful for, something that brings you joy. Just one thing, don't push it. I think I was thinking about Swedish fish here, the candy. Keep breathing, guys. That's the only rule here. Again, just envisioning that one thing that makes you happy. Now let the arms come heavy by your side. We're going to start to do this breath of joy. So draw the arms up to shoulder height. You want them above the heart. And you're going to take 3 short, quick spurts of breath to fill up the lungs as you swing the arms like you see I'm doing. On the exhale, you're going to make a ha sound and bring the belly to the thighs. Let the arms, head go soft. It's going to sound like this. So it doesn't have to be such a large range of motion like you see I'm doing here. You can keep it small, keep it subtle, keep it gentle. If you're feeling a bit stiff to start with, or if maybe, I don't know, you're an older person or you're working with an injury, you might want to keep it small. But you're still going to reap the benefits, right? So we're drawing in energy on that inhale and letting go of any like negative, stagnant, just BS, I guess, that's hanging around in the body. All right, pause, bringing one hand to the belly, one hand to the chest. Feel that increase of energy, increase in prana. Give yourself a moment. I'm adjusting my leggings here. Advice, don't wear leggings that are going to move around. I wore a really uncomfortable outfit today. Anyway, now we're going to start with a little cat stretch, just floating the right hand up towards the sky, reaching the fingers up towards the sky, and then exhaling to lower the arm back down by your side. Inhale, left arm comes up. Exhale, float it back down by your side. Inhale, raise the right arm. Exhale, float it back down. Inhale, raise the left arm. Exhale, float it back down, and you get the picture. Continue with this kriya, this cleansing movement at the pace of your own breath. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, opening up through the rib case, the rib basket, as you might call it. And you can't see my hands here, but I was moving the fingers around, wiggling the fingers around, making circles with the wrist. You can do that as well. Now turning towards the front of your mat, make a nice graceful walk up towards the front of your mat, and then sweep the arms out and up. Hands come together, draw those hands through the center line and come into ragdoll. Let the arms, head, neck be heavy here. Since this is our first ragdoll, you might want to keep a generous bend in the knees, be nice and gentle on the hamstrings, the entire back of the leg. Start to pedal it out here. Feel free to play, feel free to have a little exploration here. So maybe you move the head around, maybe you, like I'm doing here, take the hands to opposite elbows and swing side to side. Releasing any negative emotion here. Again, anything that's like stagnating in the body, just let it go. Using the breath here, inhaling and exhaling. Flopping around, having a little bit of fun. Then inhale to flatten out the back. Exhale to ragdoll. Inhale, place the hands under the shoulders, step one foot back, then the other, coming into a nice strong plank. Make sure the shoulders are directly over the wrists. Draw the crown of the head forward. Nice long spine here, radiating out energy from the crown of the head and the heels. Keep the gaze forward on the mat. That's really going to help here. And then gently drop the knees to the mat. Come forward into neutral table. Make any little micro movements, adjustments you need here, but make sure that the wrists are right underneath the shoulders. Again, we're drawing the shoulders away from the ears, drawing the crown of the head forward. Imagine you're radiating out like bright light, bright energy through the crown of the head and through the sits bones. All right, inhale to cow, open up through the collarbones. Exhale to cat, press into the fingertips, lift the back of the heart space. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat, press into those fingertips to hollow out the front of the body, arch the back. Inhale to cow. You get the picture. Exhale to cat. And then start to get a little funky with it. So you can see here, I'm swinging the hips from side to side, perhaps taking the knees as wide as the mat and making nice, big, juicy hip circles. Making a little bit of noise here. Sighing, moaning, groaning. Hopefully you're alone so you can really let loose here. You might flip the wrists. You might bring a little movement into the neck, into the mouth, the jaw. There's so many options here, literally infinite possibilities, honestly. So take a moment here to really explore your own body. Maybe you notice an area of tension that you want to work into. It should feel really good, honestly. Inhaling and exhaling. Keeping with the breath here. Again, that's literally the only rule. You don't have to look like I look. You don't have to look any sort of way, honestly. Just keep breathing through it. Keep having fun. Let that movement, let that breath take you out of the thinking mind and into your embodied experience. All right, we're coming back to neutral tabletop. Lift the right fingers towards the sky or towards the side of the room. Inhale, lift. Exhale, place the hand back down on the mat. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, place the hand back down. All right, we'll repeat that on the other side. Inhale, left arm comes up towards the sky. Exhale, place it back down on the mat. Inhale to lift. Exhale, place it back down. One more time. Inhale, extend through the fingertips. Exhale, come back to neutral. All right, where are we going now? All right, press yourself back up onto your knees. You are going to lift the right foot and plant it towards the front of the mat. Little micro movements again here, adjusting so that you feel comfortable in this half lunge. Grabbing your blocks if you feel like it. Right, I should have had my blocks near me, but alas. Okay, half lunge, right? So making sure that that front knee is tracking between the second and third toes. You want to be able to see your big toe here, sink into the hips, lift through the chest, and then exhale to Hanumanasana, flexing the right foot and sending the hips about halfway back to the back foot. Exhale to Hanumanasana. Inhale, roll up onto that front foot, sink into the hips. Exhale, Hanumanasana. Inhale, half lunge, heavy hips. And then you're gonna come back to Hanumanasana one more time. Inhale. I'm sticking out my tongue. All right, get rid of those blocks and switch positions. So bring that right knee underneath the hip. Left foot's going to come towards the front of the mat. Again, any little micro movements you need to feel a little bit more joyful in your practice. You might move the hips from side to side, might stick out your tongue like I was doing before. Inhale, lift up through the chest, and then exhale, send the hips about halfway back to that back foot, bow the head. Inhale, gracefully rolling onto the front foot, back into your half lunge. And then exhale, send the hips halfway back, Hanumanasana. Inhale, half lunge. Exhale to Hanumanasana. So we're doing a Kriya here. This is a cleansing movement to kind of get the body temperature raised up slightly, to get the synovial fluid of the joints flowing. So when we hold an asana, we're going to come into it safely. Right, back through neutral table. Then you're going to sit back on your knees. We're going to do another pranayam here, another breathing exercise. So if you don't feel comfortable sitting directly on the heels, you can stack some blocks underneath your sits bones. Come back, really plug in through the sits bones. Feel the earth's energy here. And then draw the hands to the shoulders. Keep sitting up nice and straight. Inhale as you twist to the left. Exhale as you twist to the right. Right, so quick inhales and exhales. Continue to draw the crown of the head up towards the sky. So we're twisting around the axis of the spine, not losing that length, that height in the spine. Really whipping up energy here. This is going to really help with those winter blues, as I said at the beginning. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, hands come back down by your sides. Shake them out. Remove those blocks if you have them. And then you're going to plant the hands underneath the shoulders once more. Press into the fingertips, flip the toes, start to send the hips up and back for downward dog. You can keep a nice generous bend in the knees here, and then start to play, start to have a little fun here. Pedaling out the feet. Maybe shifting from side to side. Again, does not have to look any sort of way. Do what feels good. Keep breathing. You may want to imagine you're suctioning up energy from the earth through the palms of the hands. It's flowing to the... Too late. All right. Start to walk it up so that you're at a ragdoll at the front of your mat. Again, letting everything go limp and heavy, and then inhaling to roll all the way up. Once you get here, use that same inhale to float the arms up towards the sky, and then exhale, belly to thighs. Inhale, extend, take up space, gaze comes towards the ceiling, and then exhale, elbows come to the side body, hands come to fists. Inhale, extend. Exhale, belly to thighs, elbows to side body. Inhale, get nice and big here, take up space. And then you'll exhale, contract. Hands come to fists to activate a little bit of testosterone. Inhale, extend, expand. And exhale, hands to Anjali Mudra prayer pose at heart center. What are we going to do next? Who knows? All right, walk up to the front of the mat, come into Tadasana here. And then you'll inhale one-legged Tadasana, raising the right leg. Exhale, shoot it back. Adjust here. Do what you need to do to set up your strong foundation. Then inhale, the arms up by the ears. Fingers shine up towards the sky. Shoulder blades melt down the back. Couple rounds of breath here. And then you'll inhale to straighten out the front leg. Exhale, arms come up. Inhale, arms down by your sides. Exhale, back into that high lunge. Continuing with this little motion for a couple more rounds. And then grabbing your blocks if you need. Sweep the arms down to frame that front foot. Hop the back foot a little bit closer so both sets of toes are facing the short end of the mat. Pyramid pose. So make sure that the hips are square with the front of the mat here. Spine is nice and long. Come back to ragdoll at the front of your mat. Inhale it all the way up, stacking vertebrae by vertebrae. Head comes last. Adjust your leggings and your shirt. Shoot the left leg back. Again, strengthen the inner thighs here. Make sure that front knee is tracking between the second and third toes. I'm pointing to my inner thigh. Inhale. Twinkle the fingers up towards the sky. Brightness in the fingertips. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, up. Exhale, sink down. Inhale one more time, straighten out that front leg. Then exhale, sink into lunge. Holding here for a round of breath. And then grabbing our trusty blocks again so we can plug into the earth. Through the hands, hop that back foot up. Again, make sure that the hips are even here and draw the crown of the head forward. Nice long flat back. Sits bones are shining towards the back of the room, or blossoming towards the back of the room, if you will. Back to ragdoll. Inhale, stacking vertebrae by vertebrae, come all the way up, and then turn towards the long end of your mat. Step it out about 3 to 4 feet. Feet are parallel here. Inhale the arms up to shoulder height, and exhale, hinge at the waist, draw the crown forward. Pause here. Notice that shift in energy. So imagine someone's pulling you apart by your hands. And then exhale, soften towards the ground, and immediately, again, find that inquiry, that play, maybe moving from side to side. Your own expression of wide angle here. Again, I cannot stress this enough. There's no specific way this needs to look. It's whatever feels good for you. You just have to keep breathing. Inhale, come back up. Step the left foot to meet the right. Inhale, arms up. Left arm's going to come underneath the right arm. Bring either the backs of the hands, the fronts of the hands together, or bring the hands to the shoulders for genie pose. So we're just doing an eagle arm here. Make sure the elbows are up at shoulder height. Breathe into the shoulders, open them up. And unravel the shoulders, shake out your arms, step the feet apart again, 3 to 4 feet. Parallel the feet. Inhale, lengthen through the spine, lift the arms up to shoulder height, and exhale. Hinge at the waist. Take a moment to pause here. You might want to play here with opening and closing the sits bones. And that sounds a little bit odd, but it's an interesting thing to do. Anyway, hands come down to the mat now. Shift from side to side. Finding a moment of play, a moment of inquiry, a little meditation in motion here. So getting out of the thinking mind, get into the body. You might take a wide dog. You might flip the palms. You might, might scream here. It really doesn't matter. All right, step the feet back together. Inhale the arms up to shoulder height. Exhale, opposite arm comes under this time. And again, backs of the hands can come together, fronts of the hands can come together, or you can take the hands to the shoulders. Deep breaths here into the shoulders, into the upper back, into the middle back. All right, unravel, shake them out. Take the feet a little bit further than hips width distance apart. And let the arms be heavy like empty coat sleeves. Start to twist from side to side, letting those heavy arms hit you. And then turn towards the front of your mat. I'm going to turn towards you so you can see what I'm doing here. Full disclosure, this is not anything that I learned in my yoga training. This is something I learned at theater camp that's really fun. So you're going to crouch down like a frog and take this mantra. It goes like this. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So you're crouching down like a frog and then hopping up, extending the arms up towards the sky. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Again, doesn't have to be as big of a range of motion as I was doing here. All right, again, those empty coat sleeves, twisting onto the ball of the opposite foot if that feels good. And that's about it, guys. We're about to wrap it up. So coming back into your mountain pose, taking a moment to let everything settle. Another teacher. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. Exhale, hands come through heart center. Inhale again with this sun breath, gathering energy, and then pulling it in towards the heart space. Inhale, sweep the arms out and up. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Take a moment here. I was going to say earlier, another teacher I've heard said, it's kind of like you're a snow globe coming off the mantle and you're getting shooken up. And then as we pause here, everything's starting to settle. Keep breathing here. Again, reflect on something that makes you feel joyful, something that you're grateful for. One thing, don't push it. I believe I was thinking about The Bachelor here. Keep reflecting on that thought, that one thing that makes you feel grateful, that makes you feel joyful. Deep breaths. Lift the thumbs to the lips, thumbs to the third eye. Come back to heart center. Hinge at the waist. Give yourself a little bow. Give yourself a kiss. Shake it off. Bye, guys. Thank you.